Greetings, we're connected with unconditional love for your highest message of wisdom and guidance most pertinent to you at this time. We'll start with the shared overarching energy, and then we'll move into the energy of divine feminines in a coupled situation and divine feminines in a single situation. So after touching on each of those collectives, we'll pull guidance for each collective or the whole collective if we feel guided to do it as one. And we'll pull a crystal card if we feel guided to. I intend this message brings you peace, confirmation, and clarity. And let's get right into it while we're here. For the shared overarching energy, we have the Eight of Pentacles. As the divine feminine right now, you are in a focused state. You're working on stuff. You're building something. You're building yourself, definitely. But this could also include something creative, something external to you that you're constructing. And you have a lot of focus for it. There's a lot of attention and a lot of discipline that you're devoting to it. So whatever that process is in your life, you intuitively know. And you'll know that you're resonating with this reading right now. It feels like you're trying to move forward strongly into being an authority in and of yourself. There's a way that you're trying to bring yourself structure. This is what it feels like. You're trying to bring yourself structure, and you're also creating the structure as well as creating whatever else it is that you're creating, as well as building yourself and whatever it is else that you're building. You're also trying to establish a strong structure and be your own structure. Whether you're in a relationship or not, this takes you into and out of a sense where you feel loving in a romantic sense, like where you were able to romanticize life or be in that softer state. Sometimes it feels like you dip in and out of that. And of course, this could affect you differently depending on whether you're in a relationship or not. But I'm getting that that's energy for the divine feminines in general. Remember that the energy of romantic union is an energy. It's not a physical state. So it's not only a physical state. So because of you dipping into and out of this energy, sometimes you end up feeling sad. But it just seems like what's going on with you is that you're building a structure around yourself. And so the ways that you're allowing yourself to use your feminine energy to give your energy forward, that shifts and changes. And it is shifting and changing for you. As the divine feminine, you've been really in your thoughts about your feelings. You've been also in your feelings about your thoughts. So that means you've been thinking about some of the ways that you've been feeling, and you've been exploring your emotions about some of your habitual thought patterns and thought processes, right? Some of which were conducive to anxiety. Now, this process of really examining yourself from both angles could have put you in a state of just feeling frazzled and mentally overwhelmed. But you came to an intuitive moment. You gained intuitive clarity. And this clarity was about an inner feminine part of you, an inner karmic feminine part of you. And that part of you, you were allowing it to control your behavior, control your actions and your thoughts in a way that you were unconscious of. This could mean different things for many and any of you. But for you, it just means whatever is a more karmic and less divine pattern of carrying your feminine energy, you came to intuitive clarity about how that was blocking you being able to be stable in love energy, being able to be stable in the sense of romance, emotional union, connection between two hearts, waters. Even the Two of Cups can even represent your internal balance between your masculine and your feminine. Either you could have had difficulty just feeling balanced in that, and you came to intuitive clarity about a part of your internal feminine, which was feeling karmic, which was operating in a karmic sense and obstructing you, essentially. For the divine feminines in a relationship, we have the 10 of Wands. There's a sense of heaviness. There's a sense of having a realization of coming to the point where what was too heavy. And it was too heavy in an energetic sense, in a physical sense, yes. But also what it was doing was it was stopping you from sitting strongly in your creative power, in your passions. You weren't able to use your passions in a way. So with the 5 of Pentacles coming out underneath the deck, it's underlying the energy. There could have been an exhaustion, right? Being depleted of energy, being depleted of finances, being depleted of something or other in your case. It feels like this 10 of Wands energy is also speaking of something that became too rigid, some pattern that became too fixed and rigid, expectations that either were placed on you or that you had placed on yourself that were too heavy and rigid and made you feel stiff and like you were too depleted to fully engage with your passion and your creativity. For you in the coupled situations, this is a process of walking away from patterns that have created this situation in your relationship, in your life, walking away from relationships that have created this situation in your life, walking away from habits, anything that you need to, and you will, as you go along or along with that intuitive clarity, you'll gain the understanding, the wisdom that you need to know exactly what you need to transform out of. What you're transforming out of is, and it's like a habitual way of being that you've been operating in and that you've operated in. And intuitively, you knew that you needed to abandon that way of being. Of course, intuitively, if you know that this is a relationship for you, not necessarily a way of being, intuitively, you knew you needed to abandon that relationship. And please know that I use abandon in just the definitive sense of the word, not with any negative or positive connotation. So your guidance from spirit is to walk away from it and to actually take a leap of faith into a more stable situation, a more abundant and generous situation for you. For you, this could be a more abundant and generous relationship if this is, or situate whatever it was that was depleting your energy. Take a leap towards something that will bring you more energy, whether it's a habit that will bring you more energy or a situation that will. If it was something that was depleting your finances, you are being guided to take a leap towards something that actually, uplifts your finances, brings you abundance, is abundant, whether that's a habit or a pattern or a relationship. You intuitively already have known this for a while. So this is not me bringing you new information that, spirit is saying that you must do anything that you didn't already know, that intuitively that you felt guided to do. For some of you, there's a relationship that awaits you that is full of great wisdom, great love, and great abundance, and that will help you stabilize your own abundance within yourself. Whereas there was another situation that you were coming from and walking out of soon, or have just recently done. Another situation that was doing the opposite. For some of you, this is shifting your paradigm completely out of the mindsets that were wrought with lack and depletion, and shifting them strongly and fully believing, shifting your beliefs and paradigms into more abundant ones. A mindset of believing in your power and your influence, your ability in this world, on this earth. It feels like in whatever camp or cases that you are, you've tried in some ways to make this shift, to take this leap, and you have felt just a difficulty with it. This is mental conflict with it, right? This could be a very long held and strong held paradigm for you, or a relationship or situation that you're very attached to, a pattern that you're attached to. And it feels like your mind has a lot of trouble releasing it. And that can, again, contribute to some of the mental overwhelm that you've been experiencing. Spirit is saying, just by tapping into the abundance that lives within you, the stability that expands within you, you will see the way, you'll gain the insight and experience the catalyst that you need to continue moving forward into a more peaceful mind state. It won't always feel this chaotic mentally, this chaotic possibly around you. By shifting your perception to recognize the infinite abundance within you and available to you, and then also receiving that abundance intentionally, you will feel yourself move seamlessly into a much more peaceful mind state and state of being. That's the message for the coupled divine feminines. Now let's look into the message for the divine feminines who are uncoupled. For my uncoupled feminines, you are coming out as undergoing a major transformation. As you undergo this transformation, it feels like you're in a kind of void, a state of unknown. You don't necessarily know what goes on around you, what you are moving into. You don't exactly know how long it will take or how it will look. But you're feeling very independent. You're feeling very present with the signs and synchronicities around you, with the universe around you. With Temperance and the Moon, it feels like I meant Temperance and the Page of Swords. The moon did come out, but it came out as Death, the Moon, and the Nine of Pentacles. This is all representing your energy. You also have the Temperance and the Page of Swords cards. This is speaking of a mental healing of your thought process. This Page of Swords energy is your inner ear child today. It feels as though there were many ways in which you used to sabotage yourself, sabotage your connections. By sabotage, it feels like there were simply ways that you would trick yourself and you would move towards karmic, habitual patterns or relationships, or you would be in a loving situation, relationship, and feel yourself moving the relationship itself in that direction, moving it in the direction of something karmic or more unhealthy. If you don't resonate with that, you could be, and during this mental healing, this healing of your inner ear child going on, you could be recognizing illusions that you were given in old or prior situations. You could be recognizing deceptions that occurred and manipulations that occurred. And the healing that you're undergoing is to sort of just sort that out and to clear away what was a karmic entanglement and to understand that karmic entanglement and the nature of it so that it can be healed, cleared away, and the root of it within you can be, again, loved with unconditional love and forgiven. That's how those karmic cycles get closed out. I'm getting very strongly that this could also have to do with the kinds of ideas that you were brought up with, right? In your upbringing, you could have been taught certain things about masculine energies and feminine energies. And even if not masculine and feminine, even if not in that terminology, we could have been taught things about gender roles and expectations on you as an individual. Now, you could have attracted a partner who was a reflection of less healed, like more karmic ideals around those roles. And after having walked away from those situations, you could be in a learning phase about it. Now, if you didn't attract a situation that was based on those roles, and you were in a healed, more unconditionally loving situation, then you could have found yourself still acting out these roles in your situation and feeling just a negative sense from that energy, and thus bringing the energy of sabotage into that connection. It could be that what invigorated you, what inspired you, pushed you to action in the past were karmic situations. Maybe they induced a kind of rage in you that got you to move. And now spirit is sort of helping you switch over into being inspired and pushed, even in unconditionally loving situations, being moved by unconditional love in a mentally and emotionally secure manner. So make sure you take that as it resonates. Of course, being that we're reading for different factions kind of divine feminine energy, feminines in the coupled situations could still find resonance with the messages in the uncoupled section of this reading, and vice versa. For my uncoupled feminines, guidance is the Tower. Sit with the realizations. Sit with all of the clarity and realizations that you're coming to in this moment as spirit works on your mind. By sitting with these moments and focusing on gaining the wisdom that you need to gain from these moments, not rushing them, you also have the opportunity to call in more clarity, call in the mental, emotional clarity and sureness, authority, peace that you're looking for and needing. It feels as though right now you have all of the tools that you need to call in the kind of clarity that you're wanting, that you're looking for. You're bringing in healing to the ways that you communicate your emotions, the ways that you think about your feelings, the ways that you express your boundaries, all of those things, the ways that you engage your thoughts with a situation or not engage your thoughts with the situations. These are the things that you're being guided to call in wisdom on right now. If you're going back and forth on being in a romantic energy and calling in a romantic situation of your liking, and this is bringing you some kind of mental conflict within as well, Spirit is saying that you can call in clarity on this too. You can call in wisdom on this too, and that can grant you perspective on exactly what is at the root of the mental strife and conflict that seems to be plaguing you. There's deep intuitive clarity and understanding available to you regarding your masculine, the masculine. And of course, this represents your internal sacred masculine. However, it also is strongly representing a masculine energy that's external to you that is significant. That spirit and your higher self have some wisdom and intuition for you on. So now that we have concluded the tarot portion of this reading, let's move into the Crystal Wisdom Healing Oracle deck to see if Spirit has any lasting messages to close out this reading. So we have one card that came out. I will read the underlying energy, number 2, first, and then I will read the card that came out, which is number 3. The crystal underlying this message is number 2, Flint, Portal Power. Flint stabilizes energy and cuts through to the core of issues, clearing blockages and loosening ties. It opens portals to other worlds and hidden aspects of yourself. Strengthen your boundaries. Cut through confusion to the core of the matter. Soul retrieval is necessary if you left any part of yourself in another life or an abusive childhood experience. An unwelcome visitor from the past can be left behind, but recognize lessons before you move on. Paying attention to energetic boundaries and core strength, cutting detrimental ties, and strengthening your connection to the planet maintains well-being. Okay, and the card that came out is number 3, Mookite Jasper, the Dream Time. Mookite Jasper balances inner and outer experiences. It encourages versatility and openness to new experiences, helping you to choose the right path. Check your diet. Put your skills to use vigorously. Adventurous times lie ahead. Worry not. You are protected against deceit and enemies. Recognize your strengths. Stay positive and pragmatic. Reject unrealistic ideas. Avoid pride and despair. You have stamina. Wait patiently. If 2 courses of action are open, go for the straightforward one. A professional challenge, such as a job interview or presentation, is successful. You are what you eat. Good nutrition with wholesome organic foods sustains your well-being. Drawing on ancestral wisdom. Okay, so I intend that was a very clarifying and peace-bringing experience for you. I'm grateful for us having connected here today, and I look forward to us connecting again in the future. So, take great care of yourself until then, and happy aligning.